Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Yeah, welcome to Fusion Mobile Learning Platform. I'm Odokobi Palumi by name. So in this class, we'll be treating the subject commerce and transportation. We'll be looking at the meaning of transportation. We'll be looking at the importance of transportation. Thereafter, we're going to look at factors determining the choice of transportation. We're going to look at forms of transport. That is, we're going to look at transport by land, by road, and also that is by land, which might be either by road or by rail, and also transport by air, and also by water. So we'll be looking at carrier, which may be a common carrier or a contract carrier. Also, we'll be looking at containerization. Also, we'll be looking at the charter party. Thereafter, we're going to look at documents involved in transportation. Thereafter, we're going to look at terminologies used in the transportation industry. So the first thing we have is the meaning of transportation. Transportation. Generally, transportation is one of the aids to trade. So transportation is used to facilitate trading activities. So when talking about transportation simply means the process of conveying people and goods from one place to another. So it's the process in which people and goods are being moved from one place to another. So we are going to look at the importance of transportation. What are the various importance of transportation? Importance of transportation. Number one is that it widens a firm's market. Number two is that it encourages international trade. Number three is that it provides employment opportunity. Number four is that it ensures development of the rural area. So it also improves the standard of living of people. Through transportation, the standard of living of the people is being improved. Improve standard of living. So it ensures development of the rural area, provide employment opportunities, encourage international trade, widens a firm's market. And also, we can also look at the importance of transportation is that it ensures distributions of goods and and people. So it ensures efficient and effective distribution of goods. So you have more of the advantages and more of the importance of transportation. But let's look at this. So important. Let's look at just this importance. So the first one we have is that it widens a firm's market. Wow. Transportation can widen a firm's market because goods being produced by the firms can easily be move from one place to another, thereby creating different form of market for the producers. So it's maybe to move the product of a producer or a firms. What will happen? Transportation will be needed, and once the goods start to move from one place to another, to different villages, towns, cities, what will happen? The markets of the producer, of the firms becomes widens. So the next one we have is that it encourages international trade. Wow, transport encourage international trade because it serves as one of the important aids to trade. So it encourages international trade because if there's no transport, what will happen? International trade will not be encouraged. So through air transport, international trade is being encouraged between the importer and the exporter, whereby the goods can easily be moved from one country to another as whether by water or by air. So bulky goods can be moved from one country to another, from one nation to another through transportation. So without transportation, what will happen? International trade would not have been in existence. So it encourage international trade. And the next thing is that it provides employment opportunities. So it provides employment opportunities. So the transportation has provided a lot of employment opportunity to varieties of people. That includes drivers of buses, pilots, provides employment opportunities to those what are involved in transportation industries, like the common carrier, the charter parties, and a lot of people which are involved, the importers and the exporters, the traveling agents. So that provide a lot of widely opportunities for people to exploit. So it provides employment opportunities to people. Now the next one is that it developed the rural area, development of the rural area. What happens if people have to move to the rural area? What are they going to use? It's the use of transportation. So people will be able to move to those remote areas. Choose transportation. What will happen? Such remote area can easily be developed. So transportation encourage development of the rural area. Now is that it improve the standard of living of the people, since goods produced has been transferred from one place to another. So what will happen? And these goods and services are gotten by the people at the right time and at the right place. Choose transportation. What will happen? The standard of living of the people will be improved. So that means choose transportation. Goods being produced are being transferred at the right time and at the right place to the people. So thereby improving the welfare of the people, which is in the long run improve their standard of living. Now the next one we have is that it ensure efficient and effective distribution of goods. Wow, transportation ensure efficient distribution of goods being produced by the firms. So that is one of the important of transportation. It can also encourage economic development, that economic activities in the country, which therefore develop the economy. Now the next one we have is factors determining the choice of transportation. So what factors are going to determine your choice of transportation? Whether you are going to travel by water, whether you are going to travel by air, whether you are going to travel by land. There is a lot of factors that will determine the choice you are going to make in making this decision. Now let's talk about the choice below. So we have the choice of transportation. The first one we have here is the nature of the goods. So in making decision of transportation, the nature of the goods have to be taken into consideration. Nature of the goods. Number 2, distance involved. Number 3, I have to consider the size or weight of the goods. Consider the size and weight of the goods have to be taken into consideration. Number 3, also the transporter preferences or consumer preferences or choice can also determine that. Consumer preferences and choice, and also convenience and some aspect of comfort and something like that can also determine it. And also value of the goods, can also determine the choice of transportation. We have a lot of factors that determine the choice of transportation to be made. So we are going to look at these 6. The first one we have is the nature of the goods. Now, what determines the mode of transportation, the choice of transportation to be made, is the nature of the goods. So what happens if, let's say for instance, the goods to be transported is of fragile type? What will happen, like egg? So the best means of transportation in that system will actually be by road if it's of a short distance, and if it's of a long distance, what will happen? You have to follow air. So what happens? The means of transportation will also determine, if the nature of the goods will also determine the means of transportation to use. So if the goods is of a fragile type, what happens? A good and convenient method of transportation will be required in transporting such goods. Now the next thing is distance. The distance also determines the choice of transportation to be made. If the distance is of a very far remote area or a very long distance, what will happen? A fast mode of the transportation have to be chosen. Example, if it's within international country, air transportation is advisable, and if it's a very far distance, because air transportation is always what advisable since it's a very fast mode of transportation. So the next one is the size and weight of the goods. If the goods is very bulky or has a very a lot of weight or a lot of size, the best means of transportation if for a very long distance is through ship, that is through water mode of transportation. And if it's within land, rail transportation is the best to transport such goods. Now the next thing we have is the transporter preferences and choice. Some transporter or consumer prefer to choose different choice of what transportation based on their preferences and their choice. Now convenience also, some people like to know some aspect of comfort and convenience. So the most convenient choice of transportation will be choosing in this aspect, like air is highly convenient, or even transportation in other countries convenient. And part of the goods also determine the choice of transportation to be made, and also speed also determine that speed. So it means if you are to travel a very long distance, the mode of transportation that move very fast will be advisable, like air is very move very fast. So the next on the line is forms of transport. The forms of transport. So we have transportation by land, we have transportation by air, transportation by water. The forms of transportation. So we're going to start with transportation by land. Generally, transportation by land is divided by into two. That is the road transport and the rail transport. The road transport and the rail transport. So we're talking about the land transport. The land transport is the process or the means in which people are being conveyed from one place to another by land. And we have the two types of it. We have the road transport and also we have the rail transport. Now the road transport is the movement of people from one place to another by road. Then roads are usually constructed in order to move people by one place to another, and the means can either be by car, can either be by the tricycle, can either be by lorries, can either be by bicycle, and a lot of things like that. A lot of things like that. Also, when we're talking about the road transport, it's having a lot of advantages, like it's having a low maintenance cost. So cost in maintaining the road is not as much as other forms of transportation like rail and maintaining the highways of rail and something like that. So it's having a low cost of maintenance. And again, the road transport is usually fast for a very short distance. So if it is for a short journey, what happens? The road transport is highly suitable, it's very fast when compared to other form of transportation. And again, the road transport is usually cheap when compared to other forms of transportation, and also it's usually available. So one of the disadvantages is that it is prone to weather conditions. So in form of whether it may be rain season, what happens? The road is not suitable as a good form of transportation, and also the road transport is not suitable for a very far distance, because it's very slow and very fast distance. So the next thing is that we can easily move to the rail transport. The rail transport means transporting people from one place to another, people and goods from one place to another by rail, that is by train. People are moved from one place to another, people and goods are moved from one place to another by train. So, and again, when talking about the train transport, people and goods are moved and whatever. Yeah, especially when talking about the rail transport, we have two forms of rail transport. We have the passenger transport and rail transport, and we also have the goods rail transport. When talking about the passengers, this form of rail transport involves moving people from one place to another. It's passengers from one place to another. This category of train is meant for moving passengers, that is people from one place to another. And if it is goods rail transport, goods are actually meant for this category of rail transport. Goods are moved from one place to another, and the goods are usually checked and weighed before they are being moved by train. So when talking about the advantages of train, is that the train usually move on schedule. So what happens is it also serve as what, as very good advantage. And again, also it is convenience as a means of transportation, since there's some form of recreational activities being provided by the what, by the rail transports. So when talking about the disadvantage, we have a lot of what advantages of the rail transport. So you'll be asked to just research more of it to know more about the rail transport. And again, the disadvantage is that it is not flexible, since it's moved on a schedule. So the rail transport is not flexible, and also one of the disadvantages is that it's not suitable for a very short distance, since it is slow for short distance, but it is fast. It is fast on a long distance. Also, let's go to the air transport. It's also another form of transportation. So when talking about the air transport, it's both movement or conveying people and goods from one place to another by air. So, and people are usually conveyed either by aircraft or by helicopters. So people are conveyed by aircrafts or by airplanes or helicopters. Those are the means in which people are being used to move from one place to another by air. So when talking about the air transport, we can look at some advantages of the air transport. Is that it is very, very fast while compared to other means of transportation. So it's very fast, and it is convenience as a result of the provision of recreational activities, comfort, and then this thing. And also it's usually move on schedule. And again, the disadvantages is that it is not flexible, since it's moved on schedule. It's not flexible, and again, it is very expensive. It's one of the most expensive means of transportation. It's very, very expensive. It's not actually meant for the poor. And again, one of the disadvantages is that it is prone to accidents. It is prone to accidents. Whenever an accident occurs or in transport, it's always fatal. Leads to a lot of death and something like that. Now we can actually move to, because we can read more about the air transports. And now the next one we can move to now is the water transport. So this involves conveying people and goods from one place to another by water. So the means used in this place can be in form of ships, lorries, and using some aspects of rivers and some seas to move people from one place to another. So we have two forms of water transport. We have the inland water transport, and we have the sea water transport. So the inland water transport involves moving people from one place to another within the countries, either by rivers, by lakes, and by streams and something like that. Now the next thing we have is the sea transport. So this is where we involve moving people for goods from one place to another by what? By sea. So involving people from one country to another by sea. And when talking about the sea transport, we have different form of sea transport. So the next thing we have the water transport, which involve conveying people and goods from one place to another by water. That is ship, lorry, boats, and other form of means are used in the water transport. And again, when talking about ferry also, when talking about the water transport, we have two forms of water transport. We have the inland water transport and the sea water transport. Now the inland water transport involves conveying people and goods from one place to another in form of rivers, lakes and streams. So it's usually in forms of small bodies of water, like moving people from one place to another in small bodies of water, especially within a particular country or geographical area. And again, the sea transport involves moving people from one place to another, or conveying people from one place to another, and goods also from one place to another by sea. That is with the use of large ship, and that involves moving people and goods from one country to another, or conveying people and goods from one country to another. So when talking about the sea transport, we have different form of sea transport of movement. We have the we have the ocean liners. We also have the tramp liners. We also have the we have the jump liners, we also have the coast liners, and we have the special purpose liners. Now the first one we have there, which is the ocean liners. This involves the movement of peoples and goods from one place to another on a specific route or from one particular place to another. It means the people and goods are conveyed on a specific route to a particular area, and this particular ship usually move on a specific schedule. It's move with a specific schedule and move to a specific area, a fixed schedule and a specific area. So we also have the form of the ocean liners. We have the passenger cargo, and we also have the passenger liners, and we also have the cargo liners. That is, the passenger liner is actually only meant for passengers. That is to move people only from one place to another, and it's usually on a specific route. And a fish is also usually moved on a fixed schedule. And we're talking about the tramp liners. We also have the cargo liners. The cargo liner is usually meant for moving goods from one place to another. That is, moving cargoes from one place to another, and this usually move on a fixed schedule and goes in a specific route. That is, from a particular place to another. It goes on a specific route, and large and bulky goods are usually moved, which are called cargoes, are usually moved from one place to another. So the next one we have the tramp liners. Now the tramp liners, they don't move on a specific route. Also, people and goods actually move, but does not usually move on a specific route. Not even passengers sometimes, but actually cargoes are usually moved from one place to another, and such cargo does not move on a specific schedule, and it does not follow a particular route in moving the goods. So that is the major difference between the ocean liners and the tramp liners. Then the next thing we have is the coast liners. This usually in form of flat bottom streamers. They are flat bottom streamers which are used in moving goods along the coast. So they are used in moving cargo along the coast either from one river to another, to carry the game to the port. So they are used to move cargo along the coast of the sea to the port or to other Pacific area. Now we also have special purpose liners. These particular liners are meant for a specific or a particular cargo. They are used to move a particular cargo within a specific time or a particular time. That is the special purpose liners. So we look at the forms of transportation. Now the next thing on the line is the carrier. So we are going to look at the carrier. So who is the carrier? We're going to look at that. So a carrier is a person or a firm that take the responsibility of moving people, goods, or property from one place to another. So that means it takes the responsibility, or it takes the charge of moving goods or some aspect of property on behalf of firms or individuals. So usually when talking about carrier is usually what a person or a firm which major duties is to carry goods on behalf of another person or another party. On behalf of another person, it was in exchange for what? Constitutionalized money, exchange for money, or in exchange for what? Payment in return. So when talking about the carrier, we have different type of carrier. We have the common carrier, we have the contract carrier, and we also have the private carrier. Now the common carrier usually move goods, and these are usually in form of firm. That is, there are firms that actually take the responsibility of moving goods on behalf of its owner. So they move goods on behalf of the owner in return for payment. So they take the responsibility of moving goods. It can also be in form of an individual that takes the responsibility of moving goods for a particular firm or a particular individual in return for payment. So that is the responsibility of the common carrier. Common carrier is, we have a lot of common carriers in the area, so they take the responsibility of moving goods on your behalf to another place and so in return for payment. Now we also have the contract carrier. This particular firm move goods from one place to another on behalf of its owner on a contract. So there's contract usually signed between the owner of the goods and the carrier. So there's a contract, there's formalities between them, between the owner of the goods and the carrier. Okay. That is the way I pronounce it, carrier. So job. So between the contract carrier, so goods are being moved from one place to another between the contract carrier. So there's a contract between the owner of the goods and the carrier. So then now the next thing is the private carrier. The private carrier. So this form of carrier is usually owned by the firm itself. So the firms own this form of carrier to move its goods from one place to another. So the firms establish its exclusive ownership of its own carrier, and this carrier usually moves the goods on behalf of the firms itself. So they move the goods on behalf of the firms itself. That's what we term as the private carrier. So we talk about the common carrier, we talk about the contract carrier, I also look at the private carrier. Now the common carrier usually is a form of an individual or firm that takes to move goods on behalf of another person in return for payment, while the contract carrier move goods from one place to another on behalf of the owner in contract that they are under some legal agreements. So there's legal agreements between the carrier and the owner of the goods to be moved. Now the private carrier is owned by the firms itself. The firms own its own carrier to move its goods from one place to another. So the next thing we are going to look at is the aspect of containerization. We're going to look at containerization now, and thereafter we're going to look at charter party and document involved in transportation. Okay, the next on the line is the containerization. So you have the containerization. So this involves packing the goods in a rectangular box. That is in a rectangular box, which is the container, for easily movement of goods. Either from the inland ports by lorry to the port. So when talking about containerization, it just involves the process of packing goods into a rectangular box or into a rectangular container whereby the goods are packed. So, and the reason why the goods are packed in the container is for easily movement and protection of such goods. So the goods are usually packed is for easy movement. So the reason why the goods are packed in the container is for easy movement, and also to ensure protection of the goods is from thefts. So when talking about the container, goods are usually packed in the rectangular box or in a rectangular container, in order for the goods to be able to move from the inland depots by lorry to the ports. So now the next thing we have, when talking about the containerization, what is the importance of packing goods or cargo into a container? Why do we pack cargoes into a container? One, the reason we can pack cargo into a container, as stated earlier, is for easy movement, and also the reason why the goods have to be packed into a container also is to reduce theft of such goods, and also is to reduce cost. Goods are usually packed into a container. So the next on the line is the charter party. And the charter party is a contract between two individuals or two parties, whereby one party agrees to lease his property, that is his ship or aircraft, to another, in order for it to enable the other parties to be able to move his goods or his cargo from one place to another. So it means in the charter party contracts, one individual will have to lease its ship or its aircraft to another in payment of charter party freight. So in payment or in return of charter party freight. So it means one individual will have to sublist his property. We have to either list his property to another party in order for the other party to be able to move its cargoes from one place to another. So we have two forms of, for in return for what? Charter party freight. So it means the charterer, we have to pay the charter party freight. So charterer is going to pay the charter party freight. So we will be the one responding for the charter party freight, paid to the what? To the charter party. Now the next one we have for to the owner of the aircraft or ships. Now the next thing we have now is to move to type of charter party. So we have two forms of charter party. We have the time charter. We have time charter, and we can also have the voyage charter. So if the contract is based on time charter, it means the cargoes will be moved from one place to another with specific routes with time, and that is based on time in which the contract will be entirely based on what? On time, that is from between a particular period of time. So maybe for 1 month or within a year. So that's what we call the time charter. And if it's on a voyage charter, that means the contract is based on the movement of cargoes on a particular voyage. That is the movement of goods on a particular voyage, maybe from a particular place to another place on a particular voyage. And if it's on a time charter, it means the contract will be entirely based on what? On time, between a period of time. So the cargo will be moved from one place to another within a period of time. And if it exceeds the time, what will happen? The charter will have to pay some extra charge. So and if it is on a voyage charter, so what happens? The aircraft or ship we have to be leased to the charterer based on the movement of cargoes from one place to another. That is on the voyage. It does not based on time. Now the next thing we have is the document involved in transportation. So the documents involved in transportation, we actually look at what? The charter party, which is based on a contract between two individuals, and we also talk about the time charter and the voyage charter. Now the next thing is the document involved in transportation, and also we are going to look at terminologies used in transportation industries. So we have the document involved in transportation, and we have a list of the documents. We have the consignment loans, we have the bill of lading, we also have the certificate of insurance, we have airway bill, we have the manifest, and also have the shipping note and the delivery note. And the first thing on the line is the consignment notes. The consignment notes. So this is usually the notes usually sent by the consignee, like the person consigning the goods, which actually shows that the goods has been fully delivered. So when the goods goes to the consignee, that is through the transporting agent. So what happens? The consignment loan will accomplish such goods, and that will show the total amount of goods being sent by the consignor, and also gives a description of the goods. And such a document will be signed. So this form of document usually follow the delivery of goods by the consignor to the consignee. Now the next one, we have the bill of lading. This document, all of it are documents. This document is usually called document of title. So that means this form of document gives titles to the owner to the owner of the goods to acquire his goods at the port or whenever the goods have been delivered. So that means it gives the owner the right of acquisition of his goods once the goods is being given. Is being in the port. So it is what the owner is the document in which the owner will use in the acquisition of his goods. So if the owner is to acquire his goods, what will happen? The owner have to bring out the certificate of title, which is the bill of lading. So it gives the owner the right to take possession of his goods. So that will term certificate of lading. Now certificate of bill of lading rather. Now the next thing we have is the certificate of insurance. That means this certificate is usually given by the exporter, and that shows that the exporter has insured his goods to be transported. So whenever the exporter has insured the goods against loss within a period, what happens? Certificate of insurance will be issued to the exporter. So the certificate of insurance shows that the exporter has insured its goods against loss or against any form of risk within the period. Now the next one we have is the airway bill. The airway bill. The airway bill is usually also sent by the consignor to the consignor or to the agent, telling the agent that his goods is to be transported by air. So it will be sent by the consignor and by the consignor to its agent or the consigning, telling the agent that its goods is to be consigned or it will be what? It will be transported by airway. So that what we call the airway bill. Now the manifest. This is usually prepared by the captain or the ship, and this document shows the total amount of goods which are in the ship, total amount of cargoes in the ship. So this form of document is usually what's with the captain of a ship. So the captain of the ship will have this document which shows total or give details of all cargoes in the ship, give details about cargo in the ship. So what we call this for the manifest. Now the next document we have is the shipping note. This is usually prepared by the exporter to the agent, giving instruction on how his goods or his cargo is to be shipped. So it's usually what's sent by the exporter to its agent, giving some amount of instruction to the agent that okay, this is how his goods is to be transported, or this is how his goods is to be shipped within the period. Now we have the delivery note. This form of document usually accomplish the delivery of goods. So once the goods have been delivered, it shows the amount of goods delivered, it shows the first type of the goods delivered, and shows usually accomplish the delivery of goods. Now we look at the documents used in transportation industries. We talk about the consignment loans, the bill of lading, we talk about the certificate of insurance, we talk about the airway bill, the manifest, the shipping notes, and thereafter we'll move to the delivery notes. So the next on the line is terminology used in transportation industries. So we have freights, we have dead freights, we have charterer, we have consignment, we have consignee, consignor, and demurrage. We have the demurrage, we have the freights, we have the dead freights, we have the charterer, we have the consignment, the consignee, and the consignor. Now freights. This is the cost of transporting goods, that is called transporting cargo on the ship, so or through water transportation. Whenever the goods is to be transported from one place to another, or cargo is transported to one place to another, so the cost of transportation is usually called freight. Now the next thing is for dead freight. The dead freight, this is the cost paid by the charterer for an unoccupied space or empty space. So if there is empty spaces in the ship or in the aircraft, so the person to charter such a ship or aircraft, we have to pay an amount of freight, which is for the for unoccupied space in the ship or empty space. So any amount paid for unoccupied space or empty space is termed as dead freight. Now the next one we have is the charterer. The person that charter a ship or an aircraft is called the charterer. Now the next thing we have the consignment. Whenever the goods is to be transported from one place to another, you can say the goods is a consignment. So what consignment is all about. So it means whenever goods and or cargo are to be transported from one place to another, it means the goods are on consignment. So it means that shows the shipment or delivery of goods. That's what consignment is all about. That it shows the shipment or delivery of goods. Now we have the consignee, we have the consignor, and the demurrage. Now the consignee is the person in which the goods is to be transported through. It's the person in which the goods is to be transported through the carrier. So the person in which the goods is to be transported through the carrier is called the consignee. The term the person as the consignee. While the consignor is the owner of the goods. So the owner of the goods is by the person which transport the goods to the consignee is termed as the consignor. That is the owner of the goods is the consignor. Now the next thing we have is demurrage. We have the demurrage. The demurrage, wow, is an interesting one. This is an extra charge paid by the charterer for delaying the ship beyond the agreed period. So whenever a charterer delay a particular ship beyond the agreed period, what happens? You're going to pay an extra charge, and that extra charge determined as demurrage. So it's an extra charge paid by the charterer for delaying the ship beyond the or exceeding the agreed period. So we call it that as the demurrage. So we've explained the freight, the dead freight. We also talk about the charterer, which is the person that charter a ship or an aircraft. We also talk about the consignment. We talk about the consigning, which is the person in which the goods is to be consigned to, or it should be sent to by the consignor. Why the consignor is the person sending the goods to the consigning, or transporting the goods to the consigning. Also, we talk about the demurrage, an extra charge paid by the charterer for delaying the ship beyond the agreed period. Now, this is an interesting class. So we look at the definition or the meaning of transportation. We talk about the importance of transportation. We look at the factors determining the choice of transportation. Thereafter, we go to the forms of transport. We look at the form of transport by land, by air, and by water. Also, we look at the carrier. We look at the containerization. We also look at the charter party. Thereafter, we move to the document involved in transportation, and lastly we look at the terminologies used in transportation industries. So if you have any difficulties as regards to the topic, do well to replace the video, and again some exercises and questions will be displayed on your screen. Do well to attempt and answer such questions. Thank you.